The World Poker Tour. The biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. The WPT is a series of international high-stakes poker tournaments that can turn amateur players into millionaires and make professionals into superstars. With millions of dollars on the line, it's time for these three players to live the dream of fame, fortune, and the one thing money can't buy, a WPT title. Tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Hi, everyone. We are back at the Hollywood Casino in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, for the dramatic conclusion of the inaugural Hollywood Poker Open. I'm Mike Sexton alongside Vince Van Patten, and this is the WPT.
And Mike, the first WPT final table at Hollywood Casino has been a great one. I mean, we've had lights, we've had cameras, and we've had a lot of big-time action.
Well, that's right, Vince. The three short stacks wasted no time in mixing it up. Online pro Jerry Payne shoved at the wrong time against Mike Mustafa.
Mullen. Call.
University of Illinois graduate Ravi Raghavan
On.
fell victim to the pocket kings of Frank the Tank Callow. And Chris Pell, the poker pro out of North Carolina, could not win the race against Carlos Mortensen.
It ended with the final three players nearly even in chips. Mike and Frank set their targets on Carlos Mortensen, the man chasing 2 WPT records. And they managed to put a dent or two in the armor of the Matador.
We'll have to see if Carlos can turn things around and cement his place in WPT history.
Well, the cash, the title, it is all on the line for these remaining players. Let's check the chip count and then go watch the bluffing begin.
Well, we started 4 days ago with 144 players. We are now down to 3. The winner tonight going to take home a WPT title as well as nearly $400,000 in cash. There you see the chip count of the players. Frank Callow, the 22-year-old pro out of New York, in first place. Mike Mustafa, pro out of Chicago, in second place. And Carlos Mortensen, 2-time WPT champ, sitting in third place right now.
The antes at 3,000, blinds 15 and 30.
Now round to Carlos Mortensen.
Whoa.
And look at this. He picks up a nice hand. He's got ace-king here in the small blind.
And the Matador is getting the raising chips out. Makes it 90,000 to go, like he should.
How much should they on approximately? 800. 800.
Frank wants to know how much he's got left. It's about 800,000. Frank with the queen jack wants to see a flop, sitting in position, got the chip lead, makes the call.
So ace king up against queen jack. Here's the flop.
Well, look at that, Vince. Carlos bet in the dark before the flop came out there. He bet 150,000, and the flop comes ace-9 deuce.
And hits perfectly with the aces. Oh boy, you're in good stroke when that happens.
Oh, Frank has no part of this flop.
But the bet in the blind can invite a call here for sure, and it does.
Well, Frank is going to make the call. That tells me he's going to try to take the pot away maybe later. Now another ace comes off, so Carlos has 3 aces with a king kicker. And he's going to check. And quickly, Frank checks right behind him with the queen jack. Now the board pairs 9s.
Oh, and Carlos is going to put a tower out there.
That's about 200,000 worth of chips.
And the tank quickly folding the hand, so things working very nicely there for Carlos Mortensen.
Well, there you see the graphic of the all-time money winners on the WPT. Daniel Negreanu out in front. But if Carlos finishes first or second tonight, he will overtake Daniel as the all-time money winner on the World Poker Tour.
Oh, the Matador, Carlos Mortensen, is one of the greats, no doubt about it.
Well, Vance, what's really impressive about Carlos is that for every WPT event he enters, he's averaging over 100,000 in earnings. That's far and away the best on the WPT for players that have entered 20 events or more.
Well, Frank the Tank this time looks down at a king-jack. Still our chip leader. He puts out a raise, makes it 75,000 to go. Here's the former car salesman, Mike Mustafa. He goes out.
Well, Carlos has the ace-10 suited here. Pretty good hand in a 3-handed poker game. It's good enough for Carlos to raise, that's for sure. He makes it 160,000 to go.
What do you have behind?
Look at this.
1 million.
You ask what you got behind. Now, Vince, he would know that answer because they asked him just the last pot. He just wants to hear Carlos talk a little.
Nothing wrong with that. This is poker. And the tank is going to call him.
And Carlos bet blind once again.
He bet 160,000 blind.
Oh, and what a flop for Frank as he's flopped top pair here. He has taken the lead with 2 kings.
Yeah, he's outflopped the Matador.
Now, last time, Frank had nothing on the flop and called him. This time he's got top pair, and he's just going to call him again. Doesn't raise here.
Turn card showing up. 4 diamonds helps neither player.
Well, Carlos is going to check now. Didn't like it when he got called on the flop there. And Frank going to check right behind him.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, going to the river.
Oh, an ace comes off.
Ouch.
Carlos now has the best hand with 2 aces. So the free card that Frank gave him is going to come back to burn him.
Yep, the tank let Carlos outdraw him there.
Well, Carlos is checking here.
That's surprising.
Well, he's not going to put his opponent on 2 kings because the guy didn't bet on the turn. So maybe he thinks he made a straight or 2 pair and was just trying to trap him. He didn't want to fall into any traps with 1 pair, so he checks the aces. I guarantee he's going to call in case Frank bets. But Frank opts to check, and wisely so. But right now, very disgusted with himself for not betting that hand on the turn where he would have won that pot. So finally, a break going to the way of Carlos Mortensen.
As soon as you check the river, I mean, you just bank the ace.
Carlos turning it around. Maybe left a few Papas Fritas on the table. Didn't make the value bet. Nevertheless, he is coming back. We're coming back, too, on the World Poker Tour.
My nickname, the Matador.
The Matador slays another opponent.
I kill many people in the final tables.
One more time. I move on in. That is what he's talking about.
Maybe it's because I have no fear and I'm playing.
He's done it. The Matador is a 2-time WPT champion.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. That is the man with the red cape, the Matador, Carlos Mortensen.
Yep, he's going for his 3rd WPT title tonight. That would tie him with Gus Hansen for the most wins in the history of the World Poker Tour. Let's see if he can get it done.
Yeah, 3-handed poker, but the action goes to the former car salesman, Mike Mustafa. Peaks down at a 9-8 offsuit.
And he's on the button. He's in position, so he's going to raise it here. He's going to make it 75,000 to go.
Into Carlos, who's going to throw away a Jack-4. And now Frank the tank.
Well, he looks down at the King-4 diamonds, but Vince, most guys might just call with that. Not Frank the tank. He is firing it up to 200,000. He is re-raising with the King-4, and he's quickly called by Mike Mustafa.
Yep.
So we are starting to gamble it up here.
Got King-4 up against 9-8. Who's going to get lucky?
Oh, bingo, bango, bongo for Mike Mustafa. He has flopped the joint, the 9-high straight. He has the best hand possible right now. Action is on Frank, and look at this, Vince. He is reaching for a healthy dose of chips that he can just say goodbye to.
Oh, man, the tank is plunging ahead. It looks like a bet of 203,000.
No way Frank can win this pot. It's just a matter of how much he loses.
Well, you're so excited if you're Mike, and he's just going to okie dokie call him. Trying to trap his opponent. Here we go with the turn card, Queen of Diamonds, irrelevant.
Well, action back on Frank. They get called on the flop for 203,000, so you can't like King-4 right now. You're actually hoping to make a straight with the King-4, but unfortunately for Frank, even if he makes it, it's just going to cost him more money.
Well, the tank is checked.
400.
Wow, 400,000 is the bet, and I say wow because there's no flush possibilities. He's got the best hand possible. If his opponent had 2 pair or trips, he would have bet out, so.
Yeah, I don't understand this bet. I mean, what are you trying to protect? Let the guy possibly suck out on you, but you got such a huge hand, a 3-handed poker game at this moment.
Or catch a card,
Yeah.
man. Suppose a 3 or an 8 comes off, he's going to bust the guy.
A little bit of a eager bet there, but perhaps not in his eyes.
Can't wait to see what you have there.
And you'll be shocked how cheap you got away from the hand.
When you have the nuts to win a big pot, you just don't feel like you can check on any
God,
street.
If you had anything, you would have went busting the hand.
Because then the pot doesn't get that big. But in this case,
You know, he's a former car salesman. It's like, you know, over-talking your sale and just chasing the guy out of the dealership. It's just wrong.
ah,
All right, back to this hand. Frank the tank, this time with a pair of 8s.
this time he's got a legitimate hand. And he is going to raise it. You can't blame him for that. He makes it 75,000 to go. Mike Mustafa has 2 7s. He is in dire straits this time around.
Oh, boy. Buckle up.
He just flopped the nuts to win a nice pot off Frank. But this time, we could see a reversal of fortune.
And Mike is going to get aggressive. He's going to raise here. Makes it 225.
Well, he's come right back over the top, raising with the 2-7s. Carlos gets out of their way.
Now back on Tank.
He's about a 4-1 favorite to win this pot. And Vince, if he gambles here, there's a good chance he's going to double up, that's for sure. It's going to cost him another $150,000 to make the call. The question is, do you call or raise? Wow, Vince, he does neither. He folds. Well, Vince, if Frank doesn't go on to win this tournament, he's going to look back at this hand right here and realize, wow, I had my chance. I should have gone for it right there.
So the car salesman, Mike Mustafa, sells his opponent the clunker, gets away with it. We're coming back with more action from the World Poker Tour in just a moment.
So I'm never quiet at a table. Should have called Carlos. So I can roll. My buddies at home, they get sick of me. I talk so much. And I might be able to bust you, though. They put headphones on all the time so they don't have to listen to me. You guys are all serious here.
Welcome back to the Hollywood Casino in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, where 3 players are still in the hunt to become the first Hollywood Poker Open champion.
Okay, let's check the chip count and get back down to the felt.
Well, we've had a reversal of fortune in the chip count, as you can see. Mike Mustafa now out in front with 1.9 million. Carlos Mortensen in second place with 1.5, and with just less than 900,000 is Frank Callo, who recently just had a big chip lead, and now he's in third place.
Yeah, Frank the Tank starting to struggle here as he quickly folds his hand. And the former car salesman, Mike Mustafa, with an ace-deuce. Looks like he's getting some raisin chips out.
Just don't raise too much.
No, keep it affordable for you to call.
Yeah, that's right.
Makes it 75,000.
I want you to fold.
75?
Man, he's putting out some Hollywood script right there in the events. Oh, I don't want you to fold. Betting enough so you can call. That's hokey pokey when you got ace deuce off suit.
I forgot what I had. Let me see again.
So Carlos with the best hand with ace 6. Now Carlos thought about raising it there, but opts to just call. So we're going to have a flop here. Carlos with the ace 6, Mike with the ace deuce.
Who will flop better?
Well, it's jack 7 deuce. So Mike has flopped bottom pair with top kicker. He is out in front now with 2 deuces, and he checks. Well, Carlos is going to bet now that his opponent checked. He fires out 80,000. Mike's going to make the call with 2 deuces. Carlos doesn't like that, I can promise you. 4 diamonds comes off.
Helps neither player. Again on Mike. He checks again.
Now Carlos checks as well. Carlos hoping his opponent's got something like a 9-10 for a straight draw. About the only hand he can beat here.
King of hearts on the river.
Well, it goes check, check.
1 pair.
Mike is going to win this pot with 2 deuces.
Oh, now I have to raise your back and pre-flop.
Well, there you heard it. The Matador said he should have raised back before the flop and taken control of the hand. Chances are he would have won the pot instead of lost it.
Can't call pre-flop now.
No, I'm not calling you. You make it 160. It looked like you want to make it 170 or something like that.
I almost did it.
Kind of
My bad.
Advance to Carlos to feel like he misplayed a hand. It's sort of like turning your back on the bull. It's just something you don't do. In the meantime, Mike Mustafa increasing his chip lead.
Yeah, quit the car business to do exactly what he's doing here tonight. Play big-time poker, and he's doing it well. Action's on him. He quickly mucks a king-9 of diamonds. Kind of surprising.
Well, very surprising to muck that in a 3-handed poker game, especially when you're the chip leader and you're on the button.
But the Matador with a pair of 3s. It's going to pop it up a bit. Makes it 90,000 to go.
And Frank's got the suited connectors, the 5-4 diamonds. He wants to see a flop, so he makes the call.
Yeah. Some little cards.
Oh, now look at this, Vince. We've seen Carlos do this several times at this final table. He's betting 150,000 before the cards even come up on the flop. He doesn't know if they're going to help him or not. Well, flop is 5-4 deuce. Carlos has flopped an open end straight, but look at this. Frank has the top two pair, and he has Carlos in bad shape right now.
This could get very interesting. Carlos has bet in the blind 150. Now, what will the tank do?
All in.
Frank coming back over the top.
Well, he's going all in
I call.
for nearly 800,000, and Carlos quickly calls him.
We've got a bullfight here.
Well, Frank turns up the top two pair. Carlos turns up the open end straight draw.
Come on, that 10 outs.
Yeah, Carlos says he has 10 outs.
10 outs, one
That
time.
means 4 aces, 4 sixes, and 2 threes. Those are the 10 cards he's talking about that he can win the pot with. He needs one of them now.
The tank plunging away. Out in front. Will he stay there?
Clubs can cancel.
Here comes 4th Street.
Oh, the 8 of diamonds comes off. Now that's a bad card for Carlos because it takes 3 of his outs away.
2 outs.
The ace, 3, and 6 of diamonds are no good for Carlos anymore. So all of a
8
sudden,
outs.
his outs have shrunk to 7.
Frank the tank in a great position to double up.
Oh, but the
no!
3 of hearts comes off. The Matador outdraws Frank on the river, and that's going to do it for the 22-year-old poker pro out of Syracuse, New York. That's a one.
Frank the tank imploding before our very eyes. Out in 3rd place, but he is going to pick up 167,000.
So Carlos Mortensen firing the bazooka to take the tank out of the tournament.
Oh, man, it was so sick. I had a ton of chips, and then I just, like, ran bad once we got back from break. We were 3-handed and made a couple moves that didn't really work out, and, oh, well, whatever happens.
Quiet on the set. The heads-up action is about to begin at the Hollywood Casino. Stay with us. We're coming back for more.
You know what? I'm not the greatest heads-up player. It's going to be something different for me, especially against Carlos, who's a great tournament player, period. So I got my work cut out for me.
And there is still work to do, you know. Can't say anything until the last player is down.
Welcome back to heads-up action on the WPT.
The cash, the trophy, and the WPT Tiffany bracelet are being put on the table. So much on the line for both these players.
Who's going to become the first champion of the Hollywood Poker Open? Let's check the chip count and then get back to the game.
So there you see Carlos Mortensen out front right now. He's got 2.2 million, but right on his heels, Mike Mustafa with 2 million in chips.
Carlos, you got enough bracelets. Let me get one, all right?
We got the former car salesman, Mike Mustafa, up against one of the true greats, Carlos Mortensen.
Well, with that suck out against Frank a moment ago, Carlos ensures himself to be the all-time money leader on the World Poker Tour.
All right, to the game we go. Action on Carlos. He picks up Queen Jack of Spades.
And that's a pretty good hand in heads-up poker.
And he's going to raise with it. Makes it 60,000.
Mike Mustafa has an ace-10. That also a pretty good hand in heads-up poker.
Go 150.
And he's coming right back over the top. He's going to make it 150,000. And quickly, Carlos calls the raise. So here we go. Good action on hand number 1 of the heads-up battle. And what a flop this is for both players.
Wow.
Mike has flopped top pair with top kicker. Carlos has flopped a flush draw with 2 overcards.
And Mike not taking any time. He's going to put in 240,000.
How much you got left?
Well, Carlos says, how much are you playing? He's laughing because there's a good chance he could ship it here with this hand.
I call.
But he just calls. Doesn't raise with the flush draw, just makes the call.
Carlos hoping to get lucky. Here's our turn.
Oh, the Queen of Hearts comes off. So now Carlos has the best hand and the best draw.
250.
Mike is checked, and Carlos betting $250,000.
I call.
Well, Mike is going to make the call for $250,000.
This is getting expensive. Down to the river we go. 7 of clubs.
Well, the board pairs 7s.
Check.
250.
Again, Mike checks, and quickly, Carlos confidently bets 250,000.
I call.
And the car salesman is going to call it.
2 pair.
Well, Carlos turns up, queens up, and he's going to win the pot with it. And a healthy pot it was.
Nice hand.
There's 10,000 short, I think.
Then Mustafa hasn't showed his hand quite yet. Carlos says you're 10,000 short.
How you know you're getting it yet? How you know you're getting the pot yet?
Well, we know. And now he knows. The Matador takes his sword, pierces the bull.
Nearly $1.8 million in that pot, so Carlos Mortensen extending his chip lead.
Don't tell me you have a jacks.
Huh?
You don't have jacks.
Ace 10.
Ace 10's exactly right, my friend.
All right, Carlos. First hand, I give you $1 million chips.
All right, the antes are going up with that hand to 4,000.
I put you on a flush draw, to be honest with you. I don't think you
Well,
hit
that's
the
20 and 40,000.
Well, I made the exactly right bet to make this.
Mustafa says he loves to talk at the table.
Maybe.
And when he's playing in his home game, the guys just, you know, say, put the duct tape on. Just shut up for a moment.
Talking probably works a lot better in the home game, and it's going to work out here in the WPT against the likes of a Carlos Mortensen or a Daniel Negreanu, I can tell you that.
All right, it's on him, and he's got a pair of fives.
Well, he's going to raise it here. Can't blame him for that. Comes in for 90,000.
I call.
Carlos with the suited Jack 4 of diamonds. He's going to make the call. Hard to steal his blind, Vince. And flop comes 10, 9, deuce, 1 diamond. Carlos checks, and Mike checks the 2 5s right behind him.
Yeah, flop helped neither player, but look at this ace of diamonds on the turn. That's going to help Carlos.
Well, Carlos checks again with the flush draw.
120.
And now Mike bets 120,000, trying to represent that he's got an ace in his hand. But look at this. Carlos is going to raise him. He makes it 240,000 to go. And Vince, most players will just immediately eject the 2 5s and throw them in the muck. But Mike has made the call.
Yeah.
Just knows Carlos is capable of making a play here. And now the joker comes off for Mike Mustafa. The third 5 comes off. Well, Carlos checks.
All in.
And Mike now bets all in with the 3 5s. There's no way Carlos is going to call here, obviously, with the jack high. So he throws his hand away, but Vince, what a call by this guy on the turn. I mean, all you can beat is a stone bluff. It was a great raise by Carlos there.
Ace 5?
Pocket 3s.
No way.
Unfortunately, his opponent didn't go anywhere.
You have ace 5.
I don't have 2 pair, Carlos, I swear.
He's telling the truth right there.
I don't have 2 pair. You're going to be shocked.
You have flush draw?
No.
But you have a pair, I think.
I had a pocket pair, yeah.
Let's see if Carlos can figure this out.
But you have a set.
Oh, ole!
35.
3 5s, he calls it.
Stay with us. We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
I thought I was a poker player until today. This is amazing what they brought here. If I grew up where they built this casino and nobody here would have dreamed of a poker game other than at a Legion Hall or somewhere, nothing with millions of dollars on the table. And Hollywood Casino has been such a great benefit to this community. We can't thank Hollywood enough for bringing Lawrenceburg into the limelight, and we appreciate everything they do.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. This is world-class Hollywood Casino.
Well, we appreciate being in the Midwest for a WPT event, and what a great spot to be, especially for these 2 guys fighting it out for this title.
To the felt we go. Carlos Mortensen first to act.
Raise.
With an ace deuce, he's going to raise.
I call.
Makes it 120,000 to go.
Yeah, Mike is going to make the call here, and why not? After catching that 5 on the river, feeling good a minute ago. Let's gamble it up here.
Mike with 9-7.
Ace, Queen 9, great flop for Carlos. He's flop top pair. Mike is flop bottom pair.
120.
Mike checks, and Carlos is going to bet 120,000.
I call.
Mike is going to call him. He just thinks this guy's never got a hand, Vince. Oh, a 7 comes off. Mike has taken the lead with 2 pair here as he gets very lucky on the turn.
200.
Again, he checks. And again, Carlos bets, this time 200,000. And folks, get ready for the check raise.
What a dream card on the turn. And there it is, just like you said, Mike.
Well, naturally, you're going to raise it here with 2 pair. In case your opponent's got a straight draw or just a pair of aces like he's got, you got to make him pay to catch.
Oh, yeah. Makes it 660 to go.
You have like 700 behind?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a healthy $460,000 re-raise. Well, Carlos has top pair. He's got a bad kicker. He's been check raised on the turn. What do you do now with 2 aces? And he's getting out chips. And he knows there's a chance his opponent could have something like King 10 of diamonds where he made a flush draw and a straight draw on the turn. But chances are he's probably beat. Carlos Mortensen with some of the best instincts in the poker world. Can he get away from two aces here?
And you notice Mustafa's not talking much here.
He does throw away the aces, Vince.
Yeah, good lay down.
And another spot-on lay down by Carlos Mortensen. Vince, the guy just has a knack to know when he's beat.
Nice pickup on the turn for Mike. Got to be content with that.
Ace-7. Ace-7.
2 pair.
Queen 9.
2 pair. 2 pair.
Queen 9. Gotta be Queen 9.
No. You got to call.
Not really. You tell him everything anyhow.
What's your kicker with your ace?
Well, you're right,
6.
Vince. If I was this guy, I wouldn't be telling Carlos Mortensen a thing.
Gee.
Everybody thought you were going to make the call there. I even thought you were going to make the call there.
I'd be getting the duct tape and putting it over my own mouth.
He's just the sweetest guy, and he just sweet talks everyone, and they reveal everything.
Well, Vince, with that hand, these players are almost dead even in chips again. So we are back to the drawing board for Carlos Mortensen, who's going for his 3rd WPT title tonight.
And the antes are going up to 5,000. Blinds now 25 and 50. Action goes to Carlos.
All right.
Has a miserable-looking Jack 4, but that's not going to slow down the bullfighter. He makes it 150 to go. Mustafa with a King Jack makes the call.
Right now, Mike has him dominated. King Jack versus Jack 4. Carlos perhaps steaming a bit there. Well, here comes a flop.
You need glasses for Carlos.
Well, look at this. Carlos going to put on his sunglasses, Vince. So it's a battle of the shades now. Carlos hadn't been having them on, but flop is Queen 9-5.
250.
No help to either player. It does give Mike a gut shot straight draw. He checks, and Carlos confidently bets 250,000.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been called with the gut shot straight draw, and why not, Vince?
There's Chris Bell back on the rail. Nice effort to be knocked out and come back and watch. Very rare.
Well, deuce of hearts comes off. You're right, Vince. Most people just run out straight to the bar when they get knocked out.
That is true. Now they both check.
Here comes the river card. Now a 10 comes off on the
wow.
river. Again, the joker for Mike Mustafa. He has a stone cold nuts, the best hand possible.
500.
But he's got to bet $500,000 here. And Vince, I don't understand this bet. And Carlos quickly folds, and I say that because if Carlos has a big hand where he can pay off a $500,000 bet, why not give him a chance to bluff at the pot?
Which one of these players' tournament run is going to have a nice, perfect Hollywood ending?
Find out when we return with more action from the Hollywood Poker Open in just a moment.
Carlos, you got enough bracelets. Let me get one, all right? I'd love to play against Carlos heads up. That would probably be the perfect matchup. Just want to see how I stack up against one of the best.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. The Hollywood Poker Open continues. Heads-up action.
Well, right now, Mike Mustafa stacking up pretty well against Carlos as he's got the chip lead. He's got 2.4 million. Carlos sitting on 1.8 million. So right now, the momentum on the side of Mike Mustafa.
Mike Mustafa, the former car salesman, got in the tournament through a $1,200 satellite, making things happen here tonight. Let's go to the felt. Carlos with a King 10 this time.
So he's been spanked too many times lately, and opts to just limp in with a King 10. And Mike says, okay, let's have a flop as he looks down at a Jack Deuce. And there it is, Jack right in the door. It's come Queen Jack 6. So Mike has second pair. Carlos has the open-end straight draw.
Mike checks. Carlos checking as well.
Well, 4 hearts comes off. Mike thinking he's got the best hand now with 2 jacks, which he does. So he's going to bet. He bets just 50,000. Look at this, Vince. Carlos is going to raise him on the turn here after limping in and then checking on the flop. He has now raised him on the turn, and as you can see, Mike is trying to figure this out. And he said, well, I don't know what you got. I'm going to call you to find out, though.
An additional 100, and he's been called by Mike down to the river.
Oh, the ace of spade comes off. This gives Carlos an ace-high straight. There is a possible flush out there. Well, Mike is going to check.
Just a perfect card for the Matador.
350,000.
And the perfect card would have been an offsuit ace, but 350,000 is the bet. And virtually all Mike can beat at this stage is a stone bluff, but...
And he's just stammering to himself, muttering.
He's been calling Carlos so many times here, thinking he never has anything. Will he do it yet again? If so, he'll get his wrist slapped this time.
What are you trying to represent, Carlos? Flush, straight, what? Ace?
Don't get too curious here.
Played this hand so odd.
You make this call, you'd be giving a lot of momentum back to Carlos.
I lay it down. I know it's good.
Wow, he did lay it down. Nicely done.
So Carlos Mortensen finally getting untracked a little bit and takes down a pot.
Carlos, originally born in Ecuador, later on moved to Spain.
Bluff.
Now lives in Vegas part-time.
You can't even hold it in.
You know what's amazing about him? He's taken 2 titles.
You
He's
can smile
wins a
now.
ton of money in the World Poker Tour, but he's only played 50-some-odd tournaments on the World Poker Tour.
Vince, the guy's averaged over $100,000 every WPT event he has entered. By far and away, the best out here in the World Poker Tour for players that have entered 20 events or more.
Back to this hand. It's on Mike again with the button and an attractive-looking king-queen offsuit.
Yeah, very attractive.
And he's going to raise it. Makes it 125. And Carlos with a queen-jack coming back over the top.
Unbelievable. Carlos has re-raised 200,000 here, and as you can see, he has dominated. It's king-queen versus queen-jack, but let's see what Mike is going to do. Mike's going to make the call. So Mike just never believes Carlos has a big hand. In this case, he's right. He has him dominated.
And there's another blind bet here by Carlos Mortensen. He's just putting chips in before the flop.
You like doing that, don't you?
Put in 325,000. It could very well work with a flop of 3-3-4 with 2 hearts, because Mike has none of that.
I'm all in.
Wow.
Vince, he has pulled the trigger for all his chips. A stunning move by this poker pro out of Chicago. I mean, this play is going to work. Carlos cannot possibly call him here with a queen-jack, I don't think. But what a play to move all in with just king high here. Especially when the guy bet in the dark. After raising pre-flop, not just raising, coming over the top and re-raising.
It's really uncallable. I'm just seeing a little Spanish theatrics right now.
Well, maybe Carlos is going to have to reevaluate these blind bets.
And finally, Carlos reluctantly folding the hand.
So Mike Mustafa giving Carlos Mortensen the bogus blue book right there.
That's right. The former car salesman sells another lemon. We're coming back with more action. Stay with us on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the Hollywood Casino. You're watching the WPT's inaugural Hollywood Poker Open. We are down to heads-up play. And right now, Mike Mustafa out in front with 2.7 million. Carlos Mortensen with 1.6 million.
Yeah, the blinds are going up to 30 and 60,000. Action goes to Carlos.
Carlos Mortensen has already become the all-time money leader on the World Poker Tour by finishing in at least second place tonight. Now he's looking to tie Gus Hansen with 3 WPT titles, but right now he's up against it as Mike has the chip lead.
Carlos with king 9, Mike 10-7.
Happy to see a flop. And the flop comes 9-8-5, 2 diamonds. Mike has an open-end straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. He checks. Carlos has top pair.
He certainly does, and Carlos is going to bet it, 100,000.
And he's going to be called by Mike. Mike looking to catch the 6 or the jack. A 10 would give him the lead. But the 4 spade comes off. Mike's going to check.
300.
Carlos quickly bets 300,000.
The Matador trying to protect his top pair.
Now Mike's going to gamble here. And I say gamble because he's got to make the straight. And if it's the 6 or jack of diamonds, you're still scared.
But he has been lucky all night. He catches when he usually needs it. Will he do it now?
Well, Queen of Spade comes off.
Well, Mike finally did not hit there.
See what he's going to do here, though. He's going to check.
300.
Well, Carlos going to bet 300,000 here.
He missed me every way possible. I don't know how.
But Mike lays it down, so Carlos does pick up the pot to close the gap on the chip lead. Well, there you see Gus Hansen in his famous elbow flex when he captured his WPT title.
I know that very pale rich man.
Carlos Mortensen trying to tie Gus with 3 WPT titles and can do so if he wins here tonight.
All right, it is a close race right here, right now. And this time, Mike with 10-9, just going to call. Carlos with an 8-7.
Yeah, he says give us a flop here. So here comes that flop. Oh, it's come 10-9-6. Carlos has the nut straight, but Mike has the top 2 pair. Folks, buckle up. You are going to see some fireworks now.
I sees ahead. What a flop. Carlos has quickly checked. Mike bet 90,000. Carlos with the nuts right now.
Well, you're going to see the raise here, that's for sure. And I say that because there's a possible flush draw and a bigger straight draw out there. So Carlos does raise it, makes it 300,000 to go.
An additional 210.
Well, Vince, if I was Mike, I would just shove it right here. But I wouldn't like it. After Carlos turned up his hand, I can tell you that. So let's see what Mike is going to do.
Opportunity of a lifetime.
Come on, Lynn.
Oh. And he does push all in, and a quick call, of course.
Stop it.
Well, Vince, you can't blame him for playing the hand that way. Nothing you can do about it when you flop the top 2 pair, playing heads-up poker. Right now, Carlos Mortensen in great shape to double up and take a giant step toward those 3 WPT titles.
Just pair it, please. 10 or the 9.
The Matador puzzling the bull.
Good luck, Carlos. Good luck.
But what a pot, the biggest pot of the tournament, over $4 million in this pot. Let's see what happens.
Mike should pair. He'll take this tournament. Not there. It's a jack of spades.
Well, we're down to the river card.
Got a bigger straight now.
For Mike Mustafa to win this tournament right here, right now, he must catch a 10 or a 9 on the river. Otherwise, the Matador will have a huge chip lead in this heads-up battle.
Can the former car salesman get lucky and get this card and take this title? We will see. Here comes the river.
Nope. So Carlos Mortensen has doubled up. He is in great shape, Vince, to tie Gus Hansen's 3 WPT titles now. He has a monster chip lead.
So the Matador getting close to making some poker history here tonight at the Hollywood Poker Open. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action in just a moment.
6, 6, 6.
One of the best feelings in my poker career.
Carlos, congratulations on your win tonight.
Most of the best players in the world were playing that tournament. It's like very prestigious tournament. And win that means you feel like in the top, you know, in the top of the mountain.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. The Hollywood Poker Open continues. And right now, Mike Mustafa is desperate. He is in the deep end of the pool with broken arms. He's in trouble.
Carlos Mortensen with 96% of the chips, a massive chip lead.
All right, I move on, Lynn.
He is well on his way to capturing that 3rd WPT title.
Do I have to show it to the camera before I look at it?
Well, look at this in his hand. Mike crippled here. All the money is in.
And he is out in front with the ace-6. Carlos has the queen deuce. As Vince, you heard Carlos how proud he was when he won the WPT World Championship back in season 5, and proud he should be.
Put an ace out there one time.
As the only man in the world that's won the main event at the World Series and the main event on the World Poker Tour. That's a feat we may not see duplicated for at least 20 years.
Well, can the Matador take down this title right now? We will see. Here's the flop.
Well, flop comes King 9-5. So a good flop for Mike, and that his ace-high is still out in front. Carlos must catch a queen or a deuce to take the lead.
Turn card is a 4 of hearts.
So we are down to the river. To win this pot and end this tournament right now, Carlos must catch a queen or a deuce. Otherwise, Mike Mustafa will double up.
I'm feeling a deuce.
Well, it's a 6 of spade. So Mike makes 2 6s, going to take down that pot. So the match continues.
Sit back now, guys. One more head.
Carlos slightly amused. Mike feeling very, very relieved to take that.
One more time. Actually,
he's feeling good, Vince, because he's
okay?
promised his 4 daughters are going on vacation. He makes it to this final table, so the higher up he finishes, perhaps the nicer
All right,
vacation.
325 plus 30 is 355.
He has
Just
4
take the
daughters.
355, Carlos.
I wonder what it's like living in a house with 5 women, Vince.
Don't look.
That's why you play poker.
Come on.
Well, well, he's gone all in the dark for the 2nd time in a row.
I call.
Carlos has a queen jack and makes the call.
Yep, a 9-7 for Mike Mustafa.
I like this hand.
Carlos with queen jack.
He says he likes his hand. I'm sure Carlos likes his. He's the favorite to win this thing right here, right now. And tie Gus Hansen with 3
Carlos.
WPT titles.
Flop, 10-9, I mean 10-8-7. What am I talking about? 10-8-6.
10-9-8.
10-8-6, you're gonna flop a draw too. You need a 9.
Ace King 10 will be nice.
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna hit a 9 on the flop.
Stop the predictions. Get to the flop.
Yeah, let's just see the flop.
Well, flop comes 7-6-3. So Mike didn't catch the 9, but he did catch the 7. He is out in front now with a pair of 7s.
You can do it.
Carlos must catch a queen or a jack to take the lead. A 9 comes off. It's over. Carlos is drawing dead as Mike makes 2 pair on the turn.
Ship the sugar, baby.
It is. It's over. Ship the pot.
And Vince just said quickly, Mike Mustafa now has over 700,000.
And he's starting to get annoying to Carlos Mortensen. It's like that gnat in the middle of your back. You can't quite swat him.
Back in business, Carlos.
Mike is sticking around.
355 total.
Well, one time Carlos had the worst hand, one time he had the best hand, but he lost both pots.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
And Mike has doubled up twice in a row.
Yeah, the Matador is not smiling any longer.
Even the fish get lucky sometimes.
He knows it's never easy to take these titles, that's for sure. He still has a nice chip lead, but one more double up by this guy, and Carlos's chip lead will be down to about 2-1 is all.
Well, the blinds are 30 and 60,000. Action going to Carlos.
Well, he looks down at a king 10. And he's just going to bet enough money to cover him.
What are you doing, trying to put me all in here or something?
That's exactly what he's done.
Yep. Oh, but Mustafa with a pair of 6s.
Call.
Well, Mike is going to make the call with 2 6s. He has the best hand right now.
He already bet more than I got.
So we've got a race situation here.
Carlos, a black 6 on the flop. You know how you do it.
If Carlos wins the race, he'll be our champion.
Black 6. I mean, if there's a red 6, I'll take it too, but I don't know if you can find one in there.
If Mike wins it, he'll double up yet again for the 3rd consecutive hand.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Well, this a healthy pot. 1.4 million in this
Carlos,
pot.
You feeling the pressure of doubling me up one more
I'm
time?
feeling I'm going to win in this hand.
Well, Carlos said, I feel I'm going to win it on this hand. And a 10 comes off, as well as 3 clubs.
That's not a good flop for my hand.
Unbelievable.
You still have 1 out.
Yeah,
Mike has 1 out, the 6 of spade. That's the only card he can win the pot with.
Olé for the Spaniard. 2 cards remaining.
Well, a jack comes off.
now you're
Actually,
out.
a good card for Mike, in that he now
4
has
outs
twice
again.
as many outs. The 6 of clubs
Jack.
will win it for him
No,
now
I
as
don't got 4
well.
outs. I don't
He
got
needs
4
the 6 of spade or the 6 of clubs.
Carlos, 1 card
outs.
away from making history.
Well, the 5 of clubs comes off. Carlos makes a flush. Carlos Mortensen has done it, folks. You have witnessed poker history tonight. He has captured his 3rd World Poker Tour title. He has become the all-time money leader on the World Poker Tour. Folks, you're looking at poker greatness right there.
The Matador has slayed the bull one more time as he goes to the rail, kisses his girlfriend. He is our champion.
Give me my 195, please. Can't wait to see if you had that.
Back in business, Carlos.
I'm feeling I'm going to win in this hand.
Congratulations to Carlos Mortensen for winning the inaugural Hollywood Poker Open.
Carlos is now a 3-time WPT champion and the all-time money winner on the WPT.
For Vince Van Patten and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Mike Sexton saying thanks for watching. And until next time, may all your cards be live and your pots be monsters. I don't understand what this is for here.